Hello, welcome to another episode of the Indie Founder Podcast, the podcast about what's really like to bootstrap a company. It's been a while since I released an episode, and I'm sorry for that. I think if for the ones that read my recent post on Twitter, it's been very chaotic, intense couple of days. Mostly because we have just pressed accelerate in our whole production process, trying to take the most out of AI and automations and building new projects. So it's a packed episode today because I'm going to share a lot about the things we've learned around automation using N8N, the things that I have automated in my whole workflow. Before I start, I am recording this from a new microphone. It's the DJI Mic Mini. It's really cool, really small, and allows me to record things on the go. It's quite cheap, actually. I bought it for a few, I think $100. And it brings two mics, and it brings a receiver, and you can easily connect with your phone and get this quality. So let me know what you think of this quality. The idea with this is that I can easily take these microphones everywhere, and I can now walk. At the moment, I'm walking from the office to home, and I can record it. Hopefully, the quality will not be too bad. This does have a sound or noise blocker, and as well, we always run it through PodSqueeze audio enhancement. So hopefully, it will be studio-like quality. If not, let me know, and I'll try to improve. Now, who here from the listeners knows what is N8N? It's a tool like Zapier or Make. To be honest, I didn't really know much about this tool. And I got it from a YouTuber. What is it called? It's a very famous YouTube channel, Fire something. Fire, I don't know. But it's a channel where he basically covers the new things in tech. And he was just sharing how N8N will change your world. It's not something new. It's quite old, actually, N8N, but I guess I'm old to the party here. I'm old or I'm late. Yeah, I'm late to the party. But it's quite cool. So let me tell you why I think it's awesome. The first reason why I think it's awesome is because you can self-host it. So when they first started, I believe they wanted to compete with Make. They wanted to compete with Make. They wanted to compete with Zapier. So when they first started, they decided that they wanted to make something open source. So it's fully open source. You can go on GitHub, get the full code, and you can self-host it. And if you do self-host it, it's free. Unlimited free, amazing. If you want to run it in the cloud, you have to pay. So I just boot it up in one of my servers with Docker. Awesome. It's running smoothly, very easy to set up. So that's the first thing. I really, really recommend if you are looking to an easy setup, this is it. Obviously, you need to have a bit of knowledge around Docker and I guess DevOps. But if you do, it's great. So the idea is that this is a kind of a no-code tool where you just drag boxes. Maybe it's a low-code, I don't know, because you do have to code a little bit. You just set up by dragging boxes, and there's a bunch of integrations already. So there's integrations with WhatsApp, with LinkedIn, with email, bunch of stuff. And then you can just do your coding. You can call like HTTP requests. You can do loops. You can do all of this that you can also do with coding. And it's very easy to see. And of course, there's integration with OpenAI, with any AI model really. So awesome. You can bring some extra intelligence into your automations. So I thought, okay, as a bootstrapper, my time is my most valuable asset. And I was feeling that I was kind of drowning on a lot of little tasks to do. Sending messages, doing the marketing, doing my social media posts, sending my newsletters, reaching out to clients, doing a lot of stuff. So I was feeling that if I wanted to expand our company and if we want to build other projects and try different areas, I needed to automate a lot of processes that were still very manual. So that's what I did. My first automation was for, I'm not sure if this is chronological. I will just tell you all the automations I did. One that worked really well was for my press releases. So previously, I had to write the press release, obviously with the help of GPT. Then I would need to translate it to all the languages from the newsletters we send it to. So Portuguese, Italian, French, English is the original one. Anyways, all of these languages. Then I needed to send an email to each one of the writers. Personalized email, hey, here is a new press release. And this would take a lot of time, which would prevent me from doing more press releases. So that's the number one, right? Because it takes a lot of time and you need to be in the right mindset and dedicate maybe 1 hour to do that. You just do less. So that's the first thing I did. The automation, full automation of the press releases. How did I do it? It took me a while, I have to be honest. Sometimes you need to kind of fight with it a little bit, but I managed. So the way it works now is I created an MCP server, which is also something that I've learned, really cool. MCP server is basically, it's kind of the documentation, or I don't know how to describe this. It's what you create so that your app can communicate with the AI agents. So it's a server that the AI agents can call and gives them the endpoints that are available and how to send these endpoints. So the great thing about this is that if I connect one, like PodSqueeze, for instance, I can and I will create an MCP server for PodSqueeze. And then you can connect to GPT. And by the way, that's how GPT now, with the new GPT apps and so on, is communicating with Booking and so on. GPT asks PodSqueeze, hey, what endpoints do you have available? Oh, I have this one that translates a podcast. Awesome, I have a podcast to translate. What do you need? I need the MP3 file. Here, bam, done. And it makes the whole process. So that's how MCP roughly works. I created one for these integrations. So you can create one for N8N. So I created my integration that starts with MCP. So how does it work now? I go to my GPT agent that I connected with this MCP server. And I just started, hey, let's write a press release about the new functionality, our new audio editor. It's amazing. Here are some pictures. Let's do it. And he will say, okay, Tiago, awesome. Let me grab all of this content. And then it just creates a full press release. Awesome. Done. I look at it, I say, this is good. This is what I want. Or if I want to adjust, and I just ask it, hey, adjust this or that. Okay, it's awesome. Send. What it does is it will communicate with the MCP server and say, here, I have a new press release. Send it, and then the automation will grab that. We'll generate a PDF. Then we'll translate it to all the languages that I have available. And then we'll send with a personalized email to each author of different newsletter, which is awesome. So now I just need to, every time I want to have a new recipient of this press release, I just go to my Excel sheet. I edit there. This Excel sheet is connected to N8N. So next press release also goes to this new email. Bam. It just saved me tons of time. It's amazing. And I can use it in connection with GPT, which is also really cool. So that's the first one. The second release, or the second automation rather, is around the posting on social media. Something that is quite crucial, but because it does not bring immediate results, sometimes we just put it on the side. It takes a lot of time, a lot of work. So I decided to do something different. Instead of having a normal scheduler where you have to schedule each post for each social network, I wanted to have something more broad. So the way it works now is I have an Excel sheet. For me, my database is always Excel sheets, but you can connect with other things. You can connect with Airtable, with, I don't know, there's probably 1,000 possibilities. I have an Excel sheet. So I just, and granted, it's not the best way to write. Probably there's better use cases again, and I go there and I write some guidelines of what I want to post. I want to post something, let's say I have an idea about something around indie hacking or something about my automations, and I want to create a post about it. I don't need to write it properly. I just need to give the ideas. Write the post about how automation can save hundreds of hours if you use tools like N8N, Zapier, and some other tools. Bam. And then I say, generate an image for me and write it in English. My N8N will then, once a day, grab the latest or the first row on our Excel sheet, grabs these guidelines, and for each social network, that being LinkedIn, Twitter, and as well TikTok or YouTube, and I'll tell you how I did it in a second, it will generate a post specific for that based on these guidelines. And when I wrote that prompt, I gave it examples of previous posts I did so that the language, the type of voice is on point. It gets that, it generates that, generates an image, and posts it on LinkedIn, on Twitter. And then for YouTube, I use FlareCut. If you remember, FlareCut is our... I knew there was a comeback for FlareCut. For the older listeners, it's one of our tools that basically generates like the full short video with AI voice, AI video, everything. And we tried it, didn't fly at first, but I always knew there was something there. So now it uses FlareCut API. We created a quick API, calls it, generates a short, posts it on YouTube. Now, the content here, the shorts I still need to tune it, but it's quite cool. It's giving some views. If you go on YouTube, on PodSqueeze YouTube, and you go on the short section, you can clearly see that it's AI. The content I think is kind of cool. There's still maybe it's 70% there or something. I don't know, but it's quite cool. Okay. So we have this, and let me just look at my phone to make sure it's still recording. Okay, seems to be still recording. Awesome. I'm just pacing here. As my commute home is quite short, so I need to make some time to record this. So I'm just pacing. It's really lovely. The weather's still here in Portugal. Lovely. Unfortunately, they changed the hour. I don't know if they do that in the country listening on to this podcast, but here they do. We get into the winter time and it's terrible because it gets darker much sooner. But man, the weather is perfect. Like 20 degrees, 21 degrees. Lovely. But coming back to the integration. So I did that scheduler. For my personal social media, so the Tiago one, and as well for PodSqueeze social media. So for PodSqueeze, for LinkedIn page. And granted, these integrations, they are not super seamless. So the integration with LinkedIn page, you need to create an app, authorize the app. So it took me a few hours and some frustrations. GPT helped a lot to, figure that out. But once it's done, it's done. So that's the beauty of it. And that's another integration. Another one I did, man, this is really cool. Newsletters. So newsletter, I don't know if you realize this or not, but you collect a lot of emails from people that register to your account. And normally people they don't use it. They don't use these emails, but they are your direct points to your users. So at the moment we have 60,000 emails. It's crazy. So I wanted to use this regularly, consistently, but I couldn't because I didn't have the time, the energy to write a proper newsletter. It took me a lot of time. Now I do it with N8N. Same situation. I have an Excel sheet where I give my ideas. Hey, I want to write a newsletter about this. Here's the image that I want you to share. If I have sponsors, we're trying to get sponsors there. Here are the sponsors that you need to mention. And then once, I think twice a week, grabs that, generates a full HTML from that based on a template I gave it in the prompt, generates a full HTML, really nice. And then first of all, it sends it to me and schedules for the next day. So I get one day before, I see the newsletter. If I approve it, I don't do anything. And I know that next day we use SendPulse to send the newsletters and so on. It's a really cool tool. I know that the next day will be out for the 60,000 people. If I don't like it, I just go to SendPulse and cancel it because it's a scheduled one. So that's the flow I created. I think it's pretty nice. And again, allows me to I have already 3, 4, 5 scheduled newsletters. And every time I have a new idea, a new thing that I want to talk about, new feature release, whatever, I put it there. And if I need to, let's say there's a a sponsor that wants to sponsor next session, I can just go to that Google Sheet, to that row, and then, hey, by the way, this is the sponsor. Bam, done. Really, really easy. Super cool. And again, that's taking the full advantage of what GPT can do now, because it can write amazing HTML, create amazing, and the text as well is really good. So, Prime. I did do some Reddit integrations as well that were kind of working. It would go find some subreddits around podcasting, some posts, and I had like some if laws that if it was relevant, I would post there. And it was working at first, but then my accounts got blocked. And at the moment, I have all the accounts blocked. But I did something, and I will share more about that in the next episodes. But there is a way to get an account with a lot of karma. And I'm not going to say anything more. It's not totally legal. I'm not sure if it's legal or illegal. I don't know. But I just wanted to make this sound nicer and more spooky. But yeah, it's really cool. So I'm finding ways to return to Reddit. But at the moment, that automation is disabled, unfortunately, because Reddit just... Man, we've reached the point where they really hate me. And so basically, I had one account on Reddit that was connected to my, to my, sorry, as I'm pacing, I'm losing my train of thought, was connected to my Podsquiz subreddit. I created a subreddit for Podsquiz. And that account got blocked. So I was like, fuck, I cannot now reach out to my subreddit. So I messaged them. I messaged Reddit and say, hey guys, can you just move this subreddit to this other account, which was my first Reddit account with like 5,000 of karma, the one like with my name on it. And they looked at it as like, okay. And they blocked the other account. They blocked my original account. They're like, okay, this account is associated to that account, motherfucker. Bam. So I felt dumb. So that happened. Was annoying. But again, I found a way around it. I'll let you know next episodes. But yeah, really cool. Unfortunately, that automation didn't work. But, some win, some lose. That's part of the game. Other things I want to do in the future. I want to manage my full B2B stack from N8N, which I think will be amazing. So the idea is I want to do the customer success. So an automation that once in a while calls the person or messages the person, connects with WhatsApp and says, hey, how is it going? Do you have any feedback? Hey, this is a new feature. Check it out. Fully translated to their language. And as well for the reach out. I want to do that. Like the first reach out, the follow-ups, everything fully automated. And once I have that, man, I've been saying a lot on my Twitter everywhere that distribution is key now more than ever. And I'm really focusing on distribution. And if I'm able to automate my social media, my B2B reach out, my newsletters, wow, I will have a lot of time to focus on building other projects. And as well, the building of other projects also automated with Cursor, right? So it's the golden days of indie hacking. It's the golden days of indie hacking. Very exciting. We can build a lot of stuff. Now, the next point is to make real money because, as you know, Podsquiz has been a bit staled, kind of in a very slow growth path. And I want to do the millions that I see the others do. There's other bootstrappers making millions and getting to 7 figures. And I want to get there as well. But so far, we didn't find a way. So hopefully, as you follow my journey, if you're following since the beginning, I started with 0, right? And now I'm living from this for already 3 years almost. And hopefully, as we continue sharing this journey together, you will hear me saying that we reached the million ARR. So I still think it's possible and we have the tools for that. And hopefully we'll get there. So thank you so much for listening. Make sure to share it. Make sure to give it a review. If you're listening to this on Spotify, scroll up, give it 5 stars. Listening on YouTube, give it a like, share it, and message me on Twitter, please. I'm urging for contact. So if you have any, if you like the episode, if you have questions, if you want my feedback, message me at WBTiago. That's my handle. And thank you so much. And keep rocking, keep shipping. See you next episode, hopefully next Monday. I always try to release on Mondays, even though there was this pause. But yeah, see you next Monday. Cheers.